All right, welcome. Um, you need 2 blocks for this practice today, and I'm going to get you to start right away on your back. We are going to feel supported today by our own physical body and our own physical being. So you can take that block, place that block in between your thighs, up quite close to your pelvic bone. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, just take the palms of your hands and push into your thighs, the very tops of your thighs. And just breathe a couple of times here, feeling this connection and almost feeling like a little bit of attraction happening there. Traction of the lower back, of the lower spine, of the lumbar. Good. And when you're ready, you can keep your hands on your thighs and just peel the backside of your body off the ground. And then allow the hands to come up to the sky and just open and close the fists. So in today's practice, we are really going to be focusing on supporting ourselves in the center of our body. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Just take the right hand, pull back the left fingers, and you can start to lift and lower the hips. So as you're doing this, just lifting and lowering, just allow the entire backside of your body to start to heat up. It's also known as your posterior chain. And it's important that we have this part of our body, this backside of our body, working in order to connect deeply in the front. Inhaling and exhaling. And you'll notice as you lift and lower, the heat starts to get into those glutes. Making sure that you keep your belly nice and locked on. Switch sides. Good. So now the left fingers are pulling back the right. And you're just lifting and lowering, feeling an opening in the forearm as well as in that right hand. And you keep lifting and lowering. Now make sure as you're doing this that the lower abdominals, so that's the space in between your frontal hip points, so kind of this space in here, is really pulling in towards one another. Good. We'll just do 4 more here. Feeling the support of your own body. Even though it's hard, you don't let go. You keep supporting. Good. And then just stop lifting and lowering and let your hands come down by your sides. And we're going to segmentally lower the spine. So just lower the middle of the spine first. And you're going to do this by squeezing in the abdominals. And then you'll lower the sacrum to the floor. Or that's like the lower back area. Good. Now let's lift the sacrum up off the floor. So think tailbone off the floor, curving up. Lift the middle of the spine and then lift up onto the shoulder blades. Good. Lower down again, middle of the spine, and then all the way down and then reverse back up. So this is just a segmental lift and lowering of that spine. Good. And you are done there. Nice. You can bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little bit of a hug just to release that backside of the body. But we'll fire it up again really quickly. So you go ahead, take the block, place it in between the condyles or like the inner bones of the knees and put the feet flat on the floor. Interlace the fingers behind your head, cup your skull. Now take your elbows and pull your elbows in quite close to your forehead. So you're kind of like squeezing your melon. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, curl up off of the shoulder blades, pushing into the sacrum. That's your tailbone area. Good to lift up off the shoulder blades. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, let's try that again. Pull up. So the shoulder blades come off the ground and you're really pushing into the earth, into the sacrum. Inhale, lower down, continuing to support ourselves. Exhale, come on up. Now just listen up. Keep up off of the shoulder blades, but let your head kind of fall back into your hands a little bit. So you can feel the heaviness of your head. You're supporting your very own self. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come on up again. So you really want to feel all of the air leave your body as you allow your head to rest back into your hands. Good, good, good. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come on up. I know this is intense. Stay with me. It's so good for our core. Hold it here and then just lengthen that left leg. Spread the toes. Take a peek up at the toes. Make sure that leg's nice and strong and straight. Lower the left foot. Inhale as you lower the upper body down. Exhale, come on up. Good, keep exhaling. Lengthen that right leg. Look at the toes. Make sure the toes are nice and spread. The legs nice and strong and straight. The belly's on. Lower the right foot. Inhale, lower the upper body down. Good, we've got a couple more sets. Exhale, come on up. Now listen up. You're gonna lengthen that left leg, really squeezing into the block as you turn the elbows, both of them, over to the left side, like maybe 2 inches, not far, but keep the shoulder blades off the ground. Come back to the center. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come on up. Good, lengthen that right leg, nice and strong and straight. Elbows twist over a couple inches towards the right. Stay up off your shoulder blades. Good, 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 good. Come back to the center. Inhale, lower down. Last set right here. Exhale, come on up, drawing everything towards the center, the part that keeps you strong and stable. Lengthen the left leg. Twist over to the left side. Reach the right hand beside the left knee. Now, if you can, try to reach a little bit higher to get that core on just a little bit more. Good. Reset back to the center. Inhale, lower down. Good work. Exhale, come on up. Last one right here. Lengthen the right leg. Twist over to the right with your elbows. The left hand reaches past that right knee. Keep it going up a little bit higher. Good. Reset and release. Taking your hands onto your belly and just take a big inhale. This is where we take a moment to remind ourselves that we are not alone, that we can support ourselves and others are there to support us as well. Go ahead, take a nice goalpost arm. As you're laying there, take your feet as wide as your mat and your knees are going to fall over to the left side. Now, as they fall over to the left side, just breathe deeply. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing that whole right side of the body to open. Now listen up. I want you to notice how your legs are. We're going to do this from a seated position in a little while. It can be a little bit tricky, so just put this in your brain. Good. Come on up and over to the other side. Oh, good. Now you're feeling all this opening and stretch on the left side of your body, I hope. Good. Come back through to the center. And I just want you to roll over onto your hands and your knees. So once you get onto your hands and your knees, you can go ahead and come onto your fists just to make yourself a little bit longer. And then bring your knees in a little bit more than you actually think they should be. Good. Now pull the back of your head up, not jutting your chin up, but actually thinking about like lifting the back of your head up into a hand. If my hand was there, that's what you would be doing. Okay, so you can stay on your fists or you can come onto your flat hands. Good. From here, keep the toes tucked under. Good. And I just want you to lower the right forearm down. Okay, so the right forearm is lowered onto the floor, and then the left fingers are going to be tented. So it looks like this on the ground. And I'll just turn and shift so that you can kind of see. So right arm is on the ground, and then you've got the left hand out here, and it's kind of just tented. Okay, that's what that looks like. So you are there. Now I want you to shift your weight onto your right knee, lift your left leg behind you, and start to bring your knee in and out. So it's almost kind of like a little bit of a pendulum swing. And it's an interesting feeling of like connection in the center and yet movement in that lower extremity. Good. Okay, put the left knee down, and you're going to keep that left hand tented and come into this modified side plank. Now, this is where we talk about support. So your belly is actually supporting you so much that you could lift this arm up Do you see that? Yeah, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little bit, and then put it back down. Good. Come back onto your right forearm, tented left fingertips. Start to swing that left knee in and out. Again. I love this. This practice really digs in and shows us that we can indeed support ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally as you come onto your modified side plank, pulling, zippering the belly up. Good. Come back onto both hands. And then this time you're going to drop the left forearm. We'll try the same thing with the other side. So the right leg and the right hand, the right leg goes back, the right fingertips are tented, and you just swing. And we're just really trying to heat up the body here. Plus, we're going to see this when we get into the sequence. So I just wanted to make sure you kind of have a feel of how it works. Okay, drop the right knee down. Keep the right fingers tented as you just move the fingers underneath the shoulder and come into your modified side plank. Good. Remember to zipper up the belly and the pubic bone so that you could be light and lift this right hand. Yes, good. Come on back down. Place the left forearm down. Tent the right fingertips out. Mine actually go off the mat a little bit. Yours might too. Belly in. This is so good for your glutes and your hip mobility as well. Oh, good. 4 more. 3, 2. Excellent. Drop the right knee down. Tent the fingertips coming onto your modified side plank. Whew. Beautiful work. All right, come on back onto both forearms, and you can stay on your knees if you like. You can interlace your fingers, or the hands can be flat on the ground. If you want to, you can lift off of your knees to come into full dolphin, just as I'm doing here. So bending the knees, lifting and lowering the heels. Feels good. Breathing deeply, lifting and lowering the heels. Beautiful. Your knees can be as bent as they need to be. You do not need to have straight legs, ever, especially if it jolts your pelvis. Good. Knees come down, take them wide. Reach your hands towards the top of the mat and flip your palms to face up. Forehead can rest right on the mat. Beautiful. All right. You guys can come up to the top of your mat now, and we're going to move into what's called Sun Salutation 1. Use blocks if you need blocks. Allow yourself the grace, the space to just kind of move how your body would like to move today. This is how we hold ourselves, how we support ourselves. All right, so coming up to the top of your mat, inhale, reach your arms forward and up, and as you exhale, tip from the hips. Bend your knees a lot. Good. Take the right foot, step the right foot back, drop the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, lift your hands high. Good. Now, can I get you to just take a peek here for a moment? My knees are quite close together. They're not super long, like so. Okay, they're quite close together. Hands come down, push back to a plank position. Lower the knees, lower the rest of the body. Keep the head of the arm bones up as you come into your baby cobra. Good. Come back into downward facing dog. So bum comes high, walk the feet in a little bit. Now the right foot steps behind the hands, drop the knee down, and the top of the foot. Again, narrow stance here. Inhale as you lift your hands high. Exhale, hands come down onto the ground. The back foot's going to step to the front. Inhale, rise to stand. Now this time as you exhale, take your hands on the fronts of your thighs and just let your hands trace all the way down to the floor. Good, that helps us with our hip hinge. The left foot steps back, drop the knee, keep the toes curled. Inhale as you lift your hands high. Good. Now take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. And just lean your head back into your hands. So it's not a big movement, but it's like that pulling the chin back into the skull again. Good. Hands come down onto the ground, push back into your plank position, or you can be on your knees. Lower the knees, lower the rest of the body, keep the head of the arm bones up as you come into baby cobra. Good. Come back into downward facing dog. Bum comes high. Walk the feet forward just a ticky. The left foot comes behind the hands. Drop the back knee. Keep the toes curled under. Reach the hands high to the sky. Good. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Push the head back into the hands. And as you do that, make sure you don't pop the ribs out, okay? We're going to keep everything contained most beautifully. Yes. Good. Hands come down, the back foot comes forward. Inhale, reach your hands high to the sky. As you exhale, hands come on the thighs again, tip from the hips. Let your hands touch the ground, but in fingertips. Now, this is a place where I do love to use blocks. So you can have your blocks if you want them. Fingertips, and you just step that right foot back. Now, if you notice my back is nice and long, try and make yours look like that too. So no rounding, just length. If you can't get length, you just build the blocks up a little bit more. Good. Keep the right fingertips on the ground, nice and light, as you lift the left hand high. Now, of course, you can always have that back knee down if you need it down. Good. Now go ahead and turn to the right long edge of your mat and just lean into the right leg, bending it and finding this nice right side lunge. So the right hand is reaching skyward, the left hand is on the floor in front of you. Good. And let's switch sides. The right hand is on the floor in front of you, the left hand reaches skyward. Inhaling. All right, go ahead, release that. Turn to the back of your mat. So the right foot is now in front. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, you're going to find this nice low lunge again. But this time you're going to take the right hand behind your back and just rest it on your left butt cheek. You might even push into that left butt cheek like a ticky. Yes, good. And then you reach the left hand high and you can lean over ever so slightly to the right. Breathing deeply. Oh, feeling that lovely stretch on the left side of your body. Good. Hands come down onto the ground. Keep that knee down, that left knee down. Good. And you're just going to scooch the right leg back. So now you're back where we started. Drop the left forearm down, tent the right fingers. The right knee swings front to back. So we practiced this already. We started here when we did our reset. So just allowing that knee to come in and out. Watch your head doesn't drop all the way down. Okay, stop with the right knee down on the ground. Keep the right fingers tented as you roll onto your right side and lift into, yeah, you got it, modified side plank. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. Come back, barrel roll so that your left forearm is on the ground, your left knee is on the ground, and the right fingers are tented. Then you go ahead and start to kick out. So you can probably feel maybe even some stuff happening in your left hip here. That's the hip that's not moving. Yeah, this is so good for strengthening. Okay, go ahead, bring the right knee down, barrel roll. I like that word, barrel roll onto the right side, and then just open into this modified side plank. Now I'm going to put a little bit more weight on my wrist by flattening my hand. If you want to join me, you can, and just reach your arm up and over. Good. Now we're going to use momentum to come up onto both of our knees. Good. The left hand comes down and the right hand reaches up. Nice side bend. And then let's put the right hand down, the left hand reaches up. One more time, left hand down, right hand reaches up. Right hand down, left hand reaches up. Good. Now here we go back to our hands interlaced behind our head. Now I want you to see if you can just lean back a little bit. Now I'm not looking for compression in the lower back area. What I'm looking for is a lean in this scapula region. So just kind of lean back using that scapula, that shoulder blade area. Good. Chest is lifting up. Excellent. Hands come down. You can go ahead, step the left foot and then the right foot into goddess squat. Good. And then we're just going to go side to side like this. Now, be careful. It is not like this. Do you see that with my arms? No, the turn comes from right here. So if you even need to put your hands on your ribs like I'm doing to make it happen, you can. Or maybe you have the proprioception, the body awareness to do it this way. Whew, this is how we learn. True story. All right, you're going to let that little swing you back to the front of your mat. Take your right elbow, land it on your left thigh, and put your hands together. Good. So you're in a twisted prayer crescent lunge. Good. Now, if it feels okay, you're going to bring the back foot beside the front. Then stand tall, hands together. Switch sides, left elbow on right thigh. Inhale, stand tall, right elbow on left thigh. Stand tall, left elbow on right thigh. All right, let's do the other side. Inhale, reach your hands high. As you exhale, hands on the thighs, then just fold forward. Fingertip lunge. Fingertips on blocks or the floor. Step the left foot back. Find a nice long lunge here. And yes, we're here for a bit because we're really feeling into that support of the core. It is true that when we are connected to our center, to our core, we make better decisions for ourselves. We know what feels right, what feels good. Leave the left hand down as you reach the right hand up in twisted crescent lunge. Feeling that connection in the core, that fire that's saying, I know, I gotcha. Good, one more inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and turn towards the left long edge of your mat. Right hand lands, left knee bends, left hand reaches high. It's a side lunge. Moving to the other side, left hand lowers, right knee bends, right hand lifts. Beautiful. Walk your hands all the way to the back of your mat. Go ahead and lower that left knee. Inhale as you lift both hands skyward. Supporting yourself once again by pulling this pelvic floor up so you feel lighter, more free. Good. You can take the left hand behind the back onto the right butt cheek and then just lean over to the left a little bit. It's not a lot. Good. Whoa. Another breath. All right. Inhale. Reach the hands up. As you exhale, go ahead, bring the hands down. The right forearm comes onto the ground. The left leg shoots back. The left fingers tent. And here we are, swing-a-ding-ding. So left knee comes in and shoots back. So you guys, if you're like, oh my God, Diana, this is hard. You take breaks, right? What we're trying to do here is challenge our body, yes, and our brain in different ways than we normally do, a variety of ways. Drop that left knee down, the left fingertips, roll onto the side for your side plank, modified on your knee. Good. Let's come back. Whew. Put the right forearm down, tense the left fingertips, and we're swinging. So do you know when we get burnt out? It's when we do the same thing over and over again. The same way, the same method, the same everything. So allowing ourselves to move in a variety of ways really gives us a break. Put the left knee down and the left fingertips down and reach the right hand up so you're so light on that left side. You can flatten the left hand down and reach that right arm up and over. So if you just think about how long you've been doing the exact same thing, maybe even eating the same foods, going to work at the same time, doing the same things, just a little change can make a huge difference. Beautiful. You're going to use those muscles to come up onto both of your knees. The right hand goes down by your side. The left hand lifts up and over. The left hand comes down. The right hand lifts up and over. Good. One more time. Right hand down. Left hand lifts up and over. Left hand down. Right hand lifts up and over. Good. Take both hands up to the sky, then behind your head, interlace your fingers. And this is where we get into that tiny micro back bend, where you're lifting up through the chest more so than bending in the back. So back bends are really just opening the front of the body. Beautiful. Hands come down onto the ground. Go ahead, take the right foot out, the left foot out. Come into your warrior goddess squat. And just start with those nice little twists. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. All right. Let that little swing take you back to the front of your mat. The left elbow is going to go onto the right thigh. You're in a long crescent lunge, prayer hands. Feel that twist in your core. Yes, good. The back foot comes to the front. Stand tall. Switch sides. Right elbow onto the left thigh. Inhale, stand tall. Left elbow onto the right thigh. Two more. Lift tall. Right elbow onto the left thigh. Keep your belly locked in. Lift tall. Right elbow left elbow onto the right thigh. Inhale, reaching hands up as you exhale, tip from the hip. We're just going to do one sun cell one. Sun cell A. So push back to plank. Lower the knees, lower the rest of the body. Keep the head of the arm bones up. Come into baby cobra. So pull your chest through, almost as though you're trying to get it up towards the top of your mat. Good. Come back up into downward facing dog. And just walk your feet all the way to your hands. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Just take a moment. Take a moment to see how you're feeling. See what's going on. See how your body is responding. So what I'd like for you to do now is take a moment to set an intention. You might totally be an intention setter, I don't know. But for me, I know the loveliness of setting intentions comes through very simply when we can just breathe and connect. Allow yourself to be light and free. Good. On your next inhale, just state your intention clearly in your mind. Good. Once you've done that, you can go ahead, release your hands down by your sides, come back to the top of your mat. We have a teeny tiny little bit more of work to do. And then we're going to get into a nice little meditation in Shavasana. So let your hands come down by your sides. Inhale, reach your hands up high. And then as you exhale, tip from the hips. I want you to go ahead and take the right foot back behind you, but bend the knee and come into your crescent lunge. Hands can come on your hips. Good. Now all I want you to do is go ahead, just take the right foot beside the left, and then let it step back. So we're being very conscious in our movement here. Right foot comes up by the left, and then take it back. Good. Right foot comes up by the left, and then take it back. One more time. Right foot comes up, and then take it back. Beautiful job. Now you can go ahead, allow that right hand to come beside the left foot, and find that twisted crescent lunge again. Good. Now bring the right knee underneath your hip, and the left foot is just going to swing back behind. So we're going to actually find what's called a 90-90. So my front leg is at a 90 degrees, my back leg is at a 90 degrees, and we're just sitting here like so. Okay, if you look, this is exactly what we did at the very beginning of class when I said we'll be doing this again. Notice what your legs are doing. We were on our back. Put your fists together like so, right at the center of your chest. I'll turn around so you can see me better. So you're like this, right at the center of your chest, and you're just gonna go side to side. So again, this is like really nice thoracic mobility. Yes. So you keep doing that. I'm going to turn around just so that I don't get turned around because I kind of take you all over around your mat. Feels pretty darn good. Whew, very nice. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Turn back to the front of your mat. Good. And then just bring the back foot to the front. You're on your knees, and you're just going to come up onto your feet. Reach your hands up, and then as you lower your hands, walk forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach your hands high. As you exhale, tip from the hips, bend your knees. Take that left foot, step the left foot back this time. Good. Just a little bit, you're going to come into your crescent lunge. The back knee is bent, and then your hands are on your hips. Here comes that step forward, but we're going to do it with the left side this time. So the left foot comes up by the right, and then we take it back. Left foot up, keeping the glute on the right side on. Step it back. 2 more. Bring it up. Ooh, step it back. One last time, bring it up. And step it back. Good work. You can take the left hand beside the right foot and then open up into that twisted crescent again. So we practiced this several times today. Whew. Good. You're going to lower the left knee, and this time you're going to sweep the right leg behind you as you come into this 90-90. Good. Fists together, and then we just twist. So if you guys have any pain, stop doing it. This class is not meant to, push us into pain. It's meant to mobilize and free us. And that connection to our core is mobilizing and freeing. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Turn back to the front of your mat. Come onto your knees. Tuck all 10 toes under. And just walk the hands back a little bit to stretch through those feet just a ticky more. Breathing deeply. Very nice. Okay, what I want you to do is grab your block. Place your block horizontally on the floor. You're going to put your shoulder blades on there, and we're just going to open a little bit more through the chest before we get into our Shavasana. So as you lay down. Just have the block touching those shoulder blades. Oh, goodness. Good. Okay. Now, thinking about the long spine, interlace your fingers behind your head and let go of that opening. So this opening is indicative of being open to new things, new experiences that allow us to get out of the burnout rut that we might be experiencing. And I know sometimes we feel stuck serving, stuck, doing what we're doing. But I just want you to know that just even by changing little things like your movement, the way you breathe, what you eat, just these little things can help just make a difference in that feeling of being in a rut or, kind of teetering on that burnout, chronic stress. Good. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll off of that block really carefully and just move it away from where it is and lay on your back. And the minute you lay on your back, you're going to notice, holy crow, there's a lot of space in between the shoulder blades now. Quite a bit of space in there. So just let there be that space. You can have your knees bent like mine, or you can straighten your legs. It's entirely up to you. Good. And then we're just going to breathe. And I want you to think of your trillions of cells. Is there 30 trillion? 30 trillion? I can't remember the exact number, but there's trillions of cells in our body. And these cells replenish themselves often, every 6 months or so. So significant change on a cellular level can happen in a really short period of time. Significant change on a cellular level can happen in a short period of time. And so as you lay here and you think, you've got this to do and that to do and everything else, I just want you to commit to being here with us for the next 5 or 6 minutes. Commit to being here. Commit to not being pulled away by your to-do list in your head. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathing ever so deeply. And just imagine for a moment that you are standing in the center of a cement pad. Maybe it's like a parking garage. Maybe it's like a tarmac at the airport. I don't know what your cement pad or your concrete pad looks like, but maybe you do. Inhaling and exhaling. I want you to notice how that concrete, it might feel like an extreme, either cold or really hot. And for sure it feels hard. And as your feet kind of press into that concrete slab, you can feel a lot of nothing. Maybe energy drain, maybe a sap or a suck. And if you're really connected, you might even feel this feeling of the cement taking all of the energetic feeling in your body, like your energy, and just sapping it. Because that is in essence what concrete does. There's not a lot of give, not any give. You might notice that you feel heavy. and almost kind of sluggish. So just feel into that feeling, that kind of harsh sapping of energetic or sapping of energy feeling. Ugh. Good. And then I want you to notice that, like, off in the distance, you can see like patches of this green, beautiful turf or grass or whatever it might be, but it's like this lush stuff. And automatically you think, I want to be on that softer surface. I want to be where I can feel the earth. So you start to walk over yonder and just really allowing yourself to take your time. So you're not rushing to get there, rushing to the softness. You're just feeling into the hardness and the heaviness. And you trust you'll get to that softness. It's there. You can see it. It just takes some time. You continue to walk and you come upon an edge, right? You notice that there's almost like a little bit of a ledge or a drop off from the concrete to the grass. You do what you always do. You jump, you get there. You find yourself on the line. And you can feel the blades of grass coming up through the spaces in between your toes, and you can feel this lightness. And almost as though that earth is giving you energy. It's shooting energy up the bottoms of your feet, your calves, up your knees, your thighs, your hips, your pelvic region, your belly, your chest, your heart, your head, and whoosh, out the top. And it feels so liberating. This is what happens when we change where we are. Where we move from the harshness into the light or softness. Where we allow ourselves to feel the yuckiness, the stress, maybe even burnout. And then decide or get help to move out of that. To be on the green grass, to be on the softer side. So you guys stay in the softer side as long as you like. You can pause me if you're staying longer. Otherwise, you're going to bring your knees into your chest. Just roll onto your right side. Cradling your head in your arm. Just reminding yourself about your intention for your practice today. What was your intention? And then coming on up to seated position, bringing your hands to your heart center. No rush. I'll be here. Once you get there, feel freedom. Feel lighter. And this freedom and this lightness comes from knowing you've got support. Support in your faith or whatever it is you believe in. Support in your physical core, in your body. You supporting you and all of those around you. The love, the light, and the kindness in me recognizes the love, the light, and the kindness in you. Namaste.